Have you ever glossed over a blurb about a show, absorbed none of it, and then just gone into it next to blind? It happens to me more than I care to admit. Hi, I'm Seigyo, and welcome back to another episode of Rule of 3, the show where we take the first 3 episodes of a series at face value and decide whether it's worth a watch to the end or not. To do this, we judge on a few criteria. First, the overall plot. Does it have enough of a hook in 3 episodes to hold our interest? Second, the visuals. How is not just the art style, but also animation style and character design? Third, sound design. Is the soundtrack any good? Do the sound effects capture you? Today, we're talking about a crime drama show called My Home Hero. Honestly, I initially watched this based on a friend's recommendation, so I glanced at the synopsis, absorbed none of it, and went straight in. I actually stopped halfway through the first episode because I was so surprised about what this show actually was, and then I went back to read the synopsis again after. But if you want to know my conclusion on whether this is worth a watch or not without any spoilers, skip to this time. Our first episode introduces us to our main character, Tetsuo Tosu, and his wife, Kasen, and their daughter, Reika. Right from the get-go, we have a glimpse into what I can only assume to be future events, before jumping into Tetsuo meeting up with his daughter at a restaurant. Reika arrives with her face completely covered, before it's revealed that someone has been beating her. Tetsuo surmises it's her boyfriend, and she gets upset and leaves. Tetsuo isn't one to leave it there though, and decides to check out her place. By chance, he crosses paths with her boyfriend and his lackeys, who are conveniently chatting about how he beat her for, I don't know, something. Tetsuo is grabbed by someone from the Yakuza and blackmailed into not following Reika's boyfriend, who seems to be part of the Yakuza as well. Not to be discouraged, he sneaks into Reika's apartment while she's not home to try and figure out what the hell's going on. Unfortunately for him, her boyfriend comes back shortly after, and Tetsuo decides to hide in the closet. After accidentally giving away his location to the boyfriend, he chooses to make a break for it, and kills him with the rice maker in a panic. Tetsuo calls his wife to help clean up before their daughter arrives, which Kasen helps with, knowing her husband would only do this to protect his family. Reika is invited to live with her parents for a short while, and the Yakuza starts to investigate her apartment, having not heard from her boyfriend in a while. Turns out, her boyfriend was the son of a Yakuza mastermind. Whoops. Episode 2 jumps right into where Episode 1 left off, with one of the Yakuza lackeys, Kyoichi, running into Tetsuo in disguise cleaning the apartment. Tetsuo manages to shake suspicion for the moment, and with his wife procuring supplies, he starts to deal with the body. It's revealed the Yakuza is suspicious of the family, tailing them due to Reika's boyfriend still being missing. Tetsuo is being followed when he leaves, and their house is being watched. Finally, after Tetsuo discovers bugs left monitoring their home, he concocts a story with his wife about their daughter having a stalker, and pins it on the Yakuza car outside, to scare them off for now. Finally, the 3rd episode kicks off with a bang. Right away, the Yakuza tries to confirm their stalker story, and decide it's fabricated. Tetsuo is kidnapped and his wife restrained in their own home, while the daughter is left unawares upstairs. Between Tetsuo and Kasen, they manage to convince Kyoichi and the Yakuza that their story is true. Unfortunately, Kyoichi needs a scapegoat and tells Tetsuo, you have to die anyway. Tetsuo, being quick on his feet and thinking of excuses and plans, manages to convince Kyoichi that, hey, he has access to a PI who might know more about his daughter's boyfriend, and that he should work together with him. Kyoichi begrudgingly accepts, and we're left with our tentative work relationship between the two, setting the stage for Tetsuo's debut with the Yakuza. Overall, the visuals aren't anything special. The art design, the animation, even the character design, they're all fairly unobtuse and nothing to raise an eyebrow at. That being said, while there isn't anything spectacular, it's well grounded in reality, and it carries the story as it needs to. This isn't a world of superheroes or supervillains. This is normal, everyday salaryman in Japan. The soundtrack does a good job at creating and carrying tension, especially in some of the more stressful scenes. There are some moments where the choir used makes me kind of feel like I'm in a Star Wars prequel, but it definitely gets the job done. The voice... The voice acting, at least in the Japanese dub, does a fantastic job of carrying emotion. The stresses, the struggle behind Tetsuo, the worry and trust from Kasen, they're all played out very well. All in all, My Home Hero's strengths lie not necessarily in what's shown, but what's said to you. They lean heavily on the storytelling, and in this case, I think it'll carry it strong, so long as they can keep that momentum going through to the end of the series. So with all that said, would I recommend My Home Hero based off the rule of 3? Definitely. I am a sucker for mystery/crime dramas, and by the end of episode 1, I was already pulled in. Episodes 2 and 3 only cemented my view, and I am super looking forward to seeing how far Tetsuo, and by extension the show, will push things. But, thanks for watching, and if you have any ideas for shows for me to do this for, leave them in the comments. I've been Sei, and this has been Rule of 3. Bye!